It's like it's all about, it always comes down to the like how you talk to yourself, is right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't realize that we talk to ourselves in negative ways, and I love your elephant. I talk about the elephant in the room. If we can identify that we do that, that's a level of awareness that's going to help you to say, I'm telling myself a story, perhaps. It seems true, it feels real because it's a feeling that's associated with it. But I
Mm-hmm.
took a course in narrative coaching, and one of the theories of narrative coaching is um, your story is the source of your suffering. And so what that means is that when I'm telling, like I say, well, I was a factory worker. I wasn't born into a family that they said this was good work, or I really wasn't encouraged to want more.
Right.
So I can say that's the truth of my life, or I can say, well, that's one version of a story and there's truth in it, but there's other truths too. And so they say also that the story that's been resolved no longer needs to be told. So if I'm
Yeah.
continuing to tell a story about how it was so hard, or how I was done wrong, or how I'm resentful and they should have, would have, could have, if I'm telling that story, it means I'm not resolved. So for me, I've gone to both spectrums of talking about the factory story so much or hiding it completely, because I was given advice early on of use it. And then I was given advice, don't let anybody know or you'll never get business. Now the
Wow.
story's resolved for me. I've proven my worth and my work through the work I've done and the willingness that I've had. So if someone needs to judge that story, then they're not my client anyway. So,
Absolutely.
right?
They don't deserve you,
No.
Marlene. They don't
Mm-mm.
deserve you. Oh, I think this is a really I found this cute clip. I'm obsessed with this Instagram um profile called Calmings. And
Mm.
it really, I mean, they're really, really cute. And I've had them on a couple of times, clips on the show a little bit. So I'm going to show you this one because it reminds me, I had a feeling we were going to go here. So I'm going to, Mildred, can you show this hot take, please? Let's just show this really quick with Marlene with Act Two.
Earlier, I being
Uh-oh.
so anxious earlier, I had no idea everything would be fine. Yeah, because in the moment, I was fully committed to the worst possible outcome imaginable. Not a mild concern, not a reasonable level of stress. I'm taking full mental preparation for a situation that had no evidence of going wrong. None. And, the confidence I had in that anxiety was impressive. I was certain. Okay, I had scenarios, I had backup scenarios, emotional reactions planned out in advance, all based on absolutely nothing. Nothing. And then everything works out normally. No issues, no complications. Just fine, everything's fine. So
I love that. It's so true, isn't it? It is so the human experience.
Yes, right. The stories that we tell ourselves, like he's telling, won't we do that? Like sometimes the story that you tell yourself, the one that's in your brain. Oh, Dwayne
Feels
said
real.
Marlene is fire. That's my hubby. Dwayne's giving you love, Marlene. She is fire. But the story that we tell ourselves is always worse than the real thing, right?
A friend of mine that eventually worked in my business. She was a client, then worked in my business, then became a friend, and we're still friends. And she doesn't work in my business anymore. But she used to say, I took offense to this. She used to say, you don't have to try so hard. Why are you trying? You're trying so hard. I looked at it as a high work ethic because I had that as a blue collar, scrap and pull yourself up by the bootstraps. But there's an anxiety underneath all that trying of what if I get criticized? What if I get it wrong? I'm not smart enough. So therefore, since I'm not as smart as other people, I have to work harder to just be at base level. There was some sort of a hidden belief I think I've unearthed, but I
Mm.
think a lot of us have beliefs similar to that of I'm not quite enough, or you got to work hard, or it's, not fair for someone else that it was easier for them because they have a different background. And so I jokingly say, well, it doesn't matter if they grew up on a yacht. If you've got a rowboat, one oar, and no map, you still have to put your oar in the water. You still have to put your oar in the water.
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
that's the choice you have. You don't have the choice of the yacht. So stop looking at it.
Yeah. And you know what? There's somebody who wishes they had your boat and had one oar.
Exactly. They're on the island waving, hoping to hitch a ride. So You know, like you only
So
have the
true.
choices contained within your life. And the more you take choice, the bigger your choices become. Because what we humans often don't realize, whether it's the workplace or personally, is that there's a teeter-totter that balances
Yes.
choice and responsibility. So if you get a lot of choice, you have a lot of responsibility. And people that don't understand that are in prison, right? They don't have many
Oh.
choice and they don't have many responsibilities.
Yes. Yeah. Wow.